When planning your marketing and advertising strategy, do you start with the end in mind? Meaning, do you really understand the core value of a lead and how that information, that little nugget, can help you direct all of your energy and effort when it comes to your marketing and advertising? The answer is no, then you're in the right place. Welcome to Down in Digi, where we're getting down to the business of digital marketing. I'm Karina Keys, thank you for joining me today. So we want to start by really understanding our leads. Where is that information coming from? What is the value of those leads? What does it cost to win that lead? And what does it mean as you start to put your whole marketing strategy together and look at the growth of your organization? When you understand the value of that lead, it really provides the foundation on which all of your successful marketing campaigns are built. This is going to simplify and maybe even eliminate the ongoing discussions around the optimum budgets and where your time should be spent best. So let's start with step number one. Step number one is to really understand what is the cost per lead for your organization. There is no right or wrong answers here. We've worked with businesses that have an average cost per lead of $200, and they're really happy if they can attribute that. And we've worked with organizations that want to stay at the $5 to $6 range on a cost per lead. It really depends on the product you're selling, the timeline of your sales process, and what the value of that client is at the end. So let's start by figuring out our cost per lead. It's a really simple metric. Look back at some of your historical data, add up the total number of leads that you can attribute or that you've received over that time period, and how much you spent in marketing and advertising or time and energy through networking and trade shows in order to gather those leads. You take your leads and you divide it by the revenue that was spent, and that's going to give you your cost per lead number. Now, once you have that number, we want to find out what is the total value of that lead to your organization. So step number two is defining that lead value. So learning that is going to give you a snapshot of how much revenue you're generating for your organization from every lead that has come through your door. Now, we know not every lead converts, and we're going to talk about that next. So until then, understanding how many leads did you have over a given period of time, whether it's a year, a month, a quarter, however you want to break it down. And then look at the revenue that was generated from your organization from all of those leads that came through the door. And by all of them, I mean the ones that closed, the ones that you lost, and the ones that are still in process. Take the total revenue generated divided by the leads that came through your door during that same time period, and that's going to give you your average revenue per lead. Now, if that revenue per lead is a smaller number than your cost per lead, either the math is not right, and we need to relook at the math, or you're doing something wrong, and you need to reevaluate how you're generating leads, what you're spending to gain leads, or what you're billing your clients and charging them for your services. Because if the revenue is less than your cost of acquisition, you're essentially working for that client, and they're not paying you anything. You're not gaining or making any traction, gaining any revenue for your time or resources that are invested. Finally, we want to look at what that lead to conversion ratio is. So what is your average conversion percentages on the leads? So essentially, again, we want to take over a set period of time, look at all of the leads that came through our organization, whether it was a form inquiry, a phone call, trade show follow-up, networking event, friends and family referral. What are all of those leads that came through the door, and how many of those closed to become clients? That's a pretty simple equation. Again, we're going to take all of the guesswork out of this and make it all mathematical and science. You take your total number of leads divided by the total of wins and new clients that you won off of that. And that's going to tell you your sales conversion ratio. Now that you have those three numbers, how do you apply that to your business to make really smart, data-driven business decisions? Well, let's start with your budget. You know what your budget revenue is. You know what you need to gain in order to meet your total revenue goal. So break out what percentage of that revenue budget needs to come from new business. Not from existing business, but from new business. Use the lead value formula, the step number 2 that we talked about, and calculate how much you need to invest in order to reach that new business revenue goal. So for example, if you need to make $100,000 in new business sales and your lead value goal is $1,750, you know you need to invest $57,200 into marketing in order to reach a goal of $100,000 in sales. Hopefully your numbers are better aligned by that, but that's going to give you an idea of what it looks like. Number 2, you want to evaluate and rank your lead sources. Where are you getting your best leads from? How are they converting? And what is your cost per lead by source? You know all the numbers, you know all the math to figure that out. So break it down and look at what sources are really giving you the best quality leads and which ones are giving you leads that convert to clients at a higher closing percentage ratio. Invest more time and effort and energy into those activities, those resources, and those platforms that are delivering you high quality, trackable leads. Third, use the value of the lead metric as an internal benchmark for your marketing team. Compare the month over month or quarter over quarter or even year over year numbers to see how they rank and how they stack up against one another. Are you making progress and reducing your overall cost per lead? Are you improving your conversion percentages? How does one impact the other? I guarantee you, I can flood your inbox with leads if you wanted me to at a really low cost, but your conversion percentages are not likely to match up with what you want them to be. One influences the other. Play with the numbers, test your sources, do the math, and create a scorecard to track the trends. You will be more effective, more impactful, and your cost to generate new revenue is going to decrease. This is Down at Digi. Thanks for joining us today. I hope you know more now than you did 5 minutes ago. If you have any questions or any clarifying questions, feel free to reach out or drop me a message in the link below. We will have some resources available to you as well. So if you want to just check the comments, we'll have some links back to our website that'll give you additional insights through a blog, a podcast, and then also some links on the site. Till next week, cheers.